Warm greetings this solstice. Hope you are well, and wherever you may be, that you are celebrating your breath, are living, and the joys that may be sensed even in the shortest moments. We are here to continue. Josie here for Major Arcana exploration. And today, on this blessed cusp and time of year, what card wishes to share some considerations today? Drum roll, please, for the Tower. Ooh. I was interested when this card would show up. For how many of us are like, I am going through a tower moment? That this is such a well-known card, but a card that almost like is scary to access. For you're like, what's going to happen? What's going to shift? For definitely this card guarantees some shift. And of course we see this chaotic scene of this grand, large tower that is built up into the ethers. And then something says, yeah, nope, not growing anymore. We're now going to destroy what has been built, what has been formed. And even those that might be kind of like living up in the lofty areas of that tower, or the lofty parts, have to then step back down to the ground. And okay, so dear spirit, how would you like for me to share the consideration of this card? Okay, what has come up about this card as I continue to move through some of the symbolism and messages of tarot, and kind of support as we shift, as we grow, and as we evolve and unlearn certain tenets and doctrines around things, that we can then also even allow some of the meanings of the cards shift as well. And something came up recently this year around the experience of the tarot, because I found whenever I did have a card pulled of the Tower, it there's so much fear to process around what would occur. Like, what is the shoe that's going to drop? What is the thing that is going to occur? And so definitely there's a lot of fear around this card, but in actuality it's a much more, as you're seeing with a lot of the major arcana, a much more psychological process. And for sure there can be things that are shifted within your life, right? That you see as kind of ripple effects. But what is being asked to consider today around this card is what has been designed that may not have had to be up as high. What may have been constructed within your life or within your understanding of things, that actually the shifting of the form is beneficial. What is changing within the mind? What is humbling in going, you know what? I did not have to build another tower. And okay, I know it sounds kind of weird, and I'm kind of might be like flubbering around with this message. So because I actually also work within my readings with a different deck, the Tarot del Fuego. And I want to show you the actual visual that comes with this card. It's similar, but a little different, okay? So I'm just going to do like a very quick find, or well, of course I'm going through an entire tarot deck, so it might not be super quick. But what they share, okay, in this visual of the Tower, that I found was quite powerful is that there's this actual like that destruction, right, that we see within this lightning bolt that comes and destroys and lets the crown fall, right? Is this idea like, well, think of who built the towers. Who built towers in history? Who built towers to defend against their enemies, to see further than others were capable, to potentially like have castles and moats and like, right? A lot of the things around a tower and why it was constructed was usually with battle, with wars, right? I'm thinking of like forts. Think of all the different types of big structures that were built to for strength, safety, security, all of that stuff, but also to be a little bit higher up, than all the riffraff down below. And so when I find within these tower destructions, right? And I love this one because it's literally showing the top of the tower breaking off, right? And there's almost this going like, did you have to construct that structure in the first place? Or is this destruction of whatever is occurring, is this shifting of what's occurring, asking you to just like take a little piece of humble pie and go, maybe I just needed to construct a house. Maybe I just needed to construct a single abode or dwelling, right? Maybe I just could then actually be on par with, as you see, like the mountains, the nature, the earth. And there's something also kind of a reminiscent of this kind of death rebirth cycle, right? Even here within this card, right? We see this like almost that I'm even getting like that this tower itself may have been constructed on consecrated ground. You're right, like you're thinking of like constructing on burial ground, constructing on things that like carry wisdom and all of that, and then someone decided to build this big stone structure on top for their own lofty goals or their own needs, irregardless to what potentially the land or was telling them. Okay, so there's something about that the shift of the tower, and you see even here with this like the crown falling off, right? Like what is the desire around empire, or what is the desire to build these like lofty chaotic structures? Don't we see that anything that is built, right? Whenever we build something that tall, there is in all mythologies of like trying to, right? Like they're building things up to access the gods or to be on like the same level as these immense power structures. And what have we always seen? The fall, right? The falls of civilizations we study now, the falls and destructions of those kind of lofty, power-hungry people that over time were like, time, the divine, whatever you wish to share it, there's something that goes, no, it is time to humble you. You are human. You are human. You do not need to go and try to access beyond all the time. So what I find a lot of times when tower comes in, is that there is an ask of kind of like this big shift that you might be feeling. What is the thing that you may have been trying to construct unnecessarily in your life? And that thing that might be crumbling or shifting, what is the learning in that? What is the lesson in that? What is the shadow work within that? What is the ego work within that? Of seeing that maybe something in its destruction is allowing you to step a little bit further in towards almost like your true abode. And again, okay, this is a wild message, so please, if it doesn't make sense, you're welcome to let me know. Okay, but again, just this idea of like this, wondrous beast even here, like ripping apart this structure that has potentially taken so long to build, brick by brick, getting higher and higher and stronger and firmer. I can see farther, I can see farther, I can see farther. And it's like, yeah, nope. Stop. Take away. What's left? What's left? Take a look, gather up the rubble, pick up the pieces, see what is still those like cherished items, those things, those nuggets of things that you still want to care and keep with you, not so that you can build another magnificent tower, but even build a different structure. This is a restructuring card, a card of asking that like how something has been structured, or like the foundation, right? Like the foundations are good. There's something definitely in both of them, as you see, the foundations are firm. There was kind of a pure intention in what was being built, right? There was a strong intention of what it was being built. It may have been built upon even the things of like yesteryear, right? The things that may have been like past, right? Or the old wisdoms, old knowings. So there's something about that. There's an initial part of the structure that was built with pure intention, in truth. But then something occurred. Something occurred that it just kept on going up and up and up, getting stronger and taller, loftier goals, loftier ideals, bigger things, stronger things. What is being asked to look at? Is it, and I know, okay, I can go on with like the systems, right? Capitalist systems, patriarchal systems, hierarchical systems that we see so much around us. And so you could easily kind of look at that going like, yeah, this is like clearly anti-capitalist work. This is going against the grain of like needing to continue to like go up and go beyond anyone else in your goals, your visions, your dreams. And in this card, it is asking for something to shift, something to kind of like break down what was at the initial foundation of that structure. What is the thing that you are initially wishing to grow or build and kind of like supplement your life, right? Because right, this is a fortified and strong and sturdy and safer structure. So there's clearly certain things there, keys within that tower to access and understand of why you built it. But then there was a time when it may have just gone almost like beyond that goal, beyond that initial intention, right? It's like the building of itself, the structure of itself took away from why you were building the structure in the first place. And so when you access the tower, there is something to look at going, what structure is crumbling? And yes, you can kind of like obviously grieve the discord that occurs and the chaos, tend to self and nurture self in this time to acknowledge what is crumbling, what is transforming. And knowing that you don't have to rebuild the same structure, right? That's the beauty of a tower card. You don't have to build the same structure. There was a teaching of going, nah, something was off. And so now you can take a look at what is left, what remains of that structure, what is still there, and what does that share with you? And maybe what will you redesign? How can you re-articulate it going forwards? So this is good food to chew at this point in time. What is, as you step into, and as we step into in the Northern Hemisphere this winter time, this beautiful season of deep introspection, that what are the things that may, almost like the building of it has taken you away from the intention or the initial desire of why you built it in the first place. And to see now, how can I reconfigure? How can I restructure this thing and maybe potentially create something new? Something maybe like it will look like a house. Maybe it will look like a hut. Maybe it will look like a village. Maybe it will be multiple huts. Do you see what I mean? It's like the structure itself is being asked to shift. Hope you enjoy this message, Josie, and you're welcome to connect for a reading F to the Y. My spirit team is kind of shared. I do need to up my prices soon enough for 2026. So until the December 31st, you will have access to my old pricing points if you wish to book or pre-book something in, and look forward to connecting with you and your most beloved and benevolent ancestors. Hope you are sharing some feasts and celebrations with them today. Take care. And until next time, until we step in for the next Major Arcana, may you enjoy what you take from this message to chew on. Take care.